Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, the Twisted Bow is an item that I spent nearly a year trying to obtain during my flipping series, yet I've never actually really tried out the Twisted Bow. It's one of the most powerful items in the game, so I'm really keen to try it, and as I already had more than a bill just on my flipping account, I decided it's probably about time I go ahead and borrow it from someone else. Because I'm a YouTuber and I shouldn't have to pay for anything. Now, to make things a little bit more interesting, I'm going to be starting from scratch, and I mean nothing, and we're going to see how much money we can make with the Twisted Bow in 10 hours. We're going to take this sucker to a couple of different bosses, some of them consistent money, some of them we may have to get lucky. Anyway guys, before we get started here, if you do enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to leave it a like. It really does help my video get recommended to others. Anyway guys, let's get started. Well, one problem already, we haven't even started yet. Apparently, you can't auto-attack anything if you don't have arrows in your quiver. So with the Twisted Bow equipped, it's not working. That said, I have thought of a workaround. If we hop into a free-to-play world with the Twisted Bow equipped, I think it'll let me attack things. Okay, let's give this a try, and well, we're not really hitting it with the bow, but this is pretty much as close as we can get. So we're gonna go ahead and kill, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes worth of cows, get a little bit of money to start with, and then we'll carry on to our very first actual moneymaker. But that said, cows, not that bad. Each kill is actually worth about 250 GP. Okay, look at that, actually, cowhide, raw beef, and bones are all worth a significant amount. Damn, that's so good. Maybe we should just do 10 hours of cows. Now, clearly, we need to invest into some gear. First up here, I want to get the accumulator, along with some really early game armor and ammunition. Okay, so there we go, we got the Ava's accumulator. While we're in the area, we're also going to go ahead and buy maybe the, I don't know, black gloves, I guess. Those are kind of cost effective. But for now, we don't have really much money to work with, so I guess we'll go with that. Now, we just did another round of cows, and we're about 20 minutes in. I think that's probably going to be enough money to work with. Now, our very first legitimate moneymaker I'm going to try out is killing the giant mole. Actually going to be another first. I mean, I have killed a mole a couple times. And right now especially, the money per hour is actually pretty good. I think we can get over $1 million an hour with the Twisted Bow, which for how easy and low risk it is, I think is pretty good. So this is what we're going to be rocking with. Full snakeskin, 35 rune arrows, and a Twisted Bow. Now we're going to be using the Falador shield because, well, I don't hate myself. We're just doing a 10-hour RuneScape video. Now that does require the Falador hard diary, but it's a free item, and without it, the mole is just plain out too annoying. Okay, there's our very first mole kill. That was pretty easy. Now, it very consistently drops mole skins and mole claws, which right now are actually pretty valuable. Like that one mole kill was worth 20,000 GP. And look at it, he has a Santa hat on. It could not get any better. Okay, so we just did a few kills. That will probably be good for now. Oh my god. 2 air runes. You really don't need very much money to upgrade to what is effectively nearly the best ranged armor in the game. That being black d'hide, it's very, very cheap. Also, you know what, we could probably use an amulet. Those are actually really cheap too, only 14,000, holy crap. So we have 95k, we're gonna go ahead and buy full black d'hide, and also I think maybe some amethyst arrows. I think those are probably the most cost effective. I mean, already just those 4 items are going to increase my DPS very significantly. Okay, so we're just about to hit the 1 hour mark, and we did around 25 minutes of the giant mole. And things are looking pretty good. We got 51 mole skins and about 25 mole claws, which sounds about right. Okay, so after selling all of that off, we're gonna get 600k. That's pretty good, actually. Maybe we'll finally be able to upgrade my boots. One gear upgrade we're gonna do right now is the Barrow's gloves. Just so many stats from it, and it's only 130k for it. Definitely a very good use of money. Now, the next moneymaker I'm gonna be doing is Zulrah, but I think I want a little bit more gear before I try to tackle that. I'm actually kind of out of practice at Zulrah. I've never done it with the T-bow before. So I think I want to get a couple more things first. So I think we're going to do 1 full hour of the giant mole. That should net me around $1 million or so, which I think will be plenty of money to get started. Okay, so there we go. We finished up with 1 hour of the giant mole. I did find out there's a really nice safe spot where I marked there. It makes this thing really, really easy. You barely even have to pay attention. But yeah, so 1 hour we ended up with 138 mole skins and 71 mole claws. Along with a whole host of other things like 800 U-logs. That's actually probably quicker than cutting them yourself. Okay, so we ended up with around 800k in mole skins and 500k in mole claws, which is close to 1.3 mil. We're going to be impatient though, and we're going to sell things off immediately. So in an hour, we ended up with around 1.2, 1.3 mil in profit. Just from the giant mole, which isn't really supposed to be that good of a moneymaker, we're already up to 1.7 mil. But honestly, I would kind of recommend it. With a twisted bow, super AFK, you can get a pet, money's decent. Ranged experience per hour is not great, but you know what, you can't have everything. Now we're going to upgrade to God D'hide, and luckily the Ancient D'hide set is pretty cheap comparatively. Only about like 1.2 mil or something for the entire set. On top of that, we need to buy Manta Rays, Divine Ranging Potions, although we could maybe go with Bastion Potions if we had a little more money. Okay, so this is the setup. We're going to take the zulrah, and the only issue with it, okay, not the only issue. There are many issues with it. The main issue, though, is no Ring of Suffering. That kind of sucks. We're going to lose out on a lot of defensive bonuses, and having to deal with Rings of Recall is annoying, but you know what? I think we'll manage. First kill coming in at a time of 2 minutes 12 seconds. Pretty average, but we haven't killed zulrah in a long time. That was a pretty good trip, valued at 424k, and that means we have about 1.4 mil in the bank, which I think will be enough money to upgrade to a Fury. That will be very useful, mainly just for the defensive bonuses. Right now, I'm definitely getting smacked around by the mage phase quite a bit. Now, we did have to sell off our Ancient D'hide body, but we just replaced it with Black D'hide. Pretty well the same thing. Okay, zulrah with the twisted bow, definitely way more relaxed. Right now, obviously my average kill time isn't any higher than when I normally kill it, but you know what, my gear is also terrible, and it's actually fairly competitive for having pretty scuffed gear. Twisted bow zulrah means you don't have to gear switch, which takes away a lot of the clicking and, well, thinking from zulrah. Now we did pretty well an hour, maybe a little bit under actually, and we got around 20 kills. Now previously we were at I think about 1.8 mil, and now we're up to 3.5. So we got about 1.6, 1.7 mil in profit in an hour, and we can definitely do better than that. We just need a little more practice. Okay, never mind, my loot tracker was actually open. We managed to do 23 kills in an hour. The average loot was just a little unlucky. Well, I am kind of shocked that we managed to get a personal best with a Fury and God D'hide, but there it is. That is my first time getting a sub 1 minute kill at zulrah. Well, that kind of came out of nowhere. Alright, so there we go. There is another hour of zulrah complete. I feel like this hour went much better just based on the loot I got. I think I should be getting probably close to maybe 2 mil in profit. Okay, after unequipping everything and pulling everything out of our bank, it looks like we're actually up to 6.1 mil, I guess 6.2 mil with Barrow's Gloves. So that was a really good hour, 2 mil profit. Actually 1 less kill per hour, but we got way more money from it. Now we're nearing the halfway mark, and I just realized that I actually have a Cerberus task. Now the Twisted Bow is actually quite good at Cerberus, so I'm definitely excited to go give it a try. Now once again, the Twisted Bow in scuffed gear doesn't make the kills quicker, but they do make them way easier and much more brain dead. Now the Twisted Bow makes Cerberus easier because it's way easier to dodge the fire pools. Normally when you're in melee range, you often will take damage unless you're constantly moving, so the T-Bow is way better in that way. Well, we just finished up with 1 hour of Cerberus, and I think I ended up getting nearly 35 kills, which is pretty competitive considering, again, gear's not that great. At that amount of kills per hour, we would be getting on average around 2 to 3 mil, which is pretty good for only really having a Twisted Bow. Now, the main problem with Cerberus is the consistent money per hour, pretty low. We ended up with 400k in profit, and that could actually be on the high end. Now, to counterbalance that a bit, we're going to try out Brutal Black Dragons, another monster I actually haven't really experimented killing with very much. Again, our setup is going to be pretty similar, just with amethyst arrows. Killing them is extremely easy in AFK, and apparently you can get over 1 mil an hour doing this. Wow, my first inventory is actually really good. If this is any indication of signs to come, this is going to be a really good moneymaker. First inventory is about 275k. Okay, so we finished up with 1 hour of Brutal Black Dragons. I decided not really to pick up the Dragon Bones too much as they weren't actually very valuable right now. And in the end, I think we actually did pretty well. Now we started at 6.5 mil after zulrah, and now we're up to 7.6. Now I noticed that we're actually only around 1 mil or 2 off of getting an Archer's Ring, so I think it might be a good idea to just do another hour of zulrah, get the consistent money, then we can get 1 major gear upgrade under our belt. Okay, so there is another hour of zulrah complete. Okay, let's do another price check here. After that hour of Zulrah, that brought us up to 9.3 mil. Which means in 3 hours, we did about 68 Zulrahs for about 6 mil profit. Okay, so we can finally get another pretty major gear upgrade, and that is the Archer's Ring. So what are we going to do with the last 2 hours? Well, I thought about doing some God Wars, but I don't think that's really going to leave us enough time to get the kill count and get a meaningful amount of kills. So I think we're going to go back to Cerberus. I'm feeling lucky there, and well, I do have a Slayer task. Might as well get the Slayer task done while I have the Twisted Bow. Now we just hit a great milestone kill count here with that kill. I've now killed 1,000 Cerberus. Fun fact, 2 Primordials so far, so we're looking pretty good. Hoping still to add on a 3rd today, but you know what, we may not be lucky enough. I mean, we still got one more chance here. Let's see if we can get on the final kill. Can we get it? No. Alright, so that is it for the 10 hours. I'm going to go ahead and liquidate everything we have from bossing, and we'll see how much money we ended up making. Now sadly, we didn't get anything from Cerberus or any of the other bosses that require a bit of luck. In the end though, we still made about 10.5 mil in profit from absolutely nothing. Sure, if I just stuck it out at Zulrah, we would have been closer to 20 mil, but you know what, in the end I thought it would be more fun to kind of risk it, go for a rare drop, and well, kind of finish my Slayer task at the same time. In the end, we ended up killing about 120 Cerberus, nearly 70 Zulrah, 55 Brutal Black Dragons, and 100 Giant Mole. So my final verdict on the Twisted Bow is pretty good. I mean, it's like a 1.1 billion GP item, it better be good, and I don't think it's any secret, the Twisted Bow is extremely powerful. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to my friend who lent me the Twisted Bow. I swear I'm going to give it back to you pretty soon. I just need to, well, max my count and earn maybe a couple more billion, then you can have it back. Now before I go here, I want to give a huge thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. One of my newest members, Zayul, just joined the Dragon tier, which is totally crazy. They are joining James Luft, Brad Sings, Ocelot, and Kush Patel, all at the Dragon tier. Again, thank you guys so much. And also a huge thank you to Birdbot and Base Titch. As always, if you guys are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an awesome way to do so. It gives me some consistent income. In return, you could be immortalized into my videos, get access to a custom Discord member role, and access to my video release schedule. Anyway guys, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.